Seattle, and this is Loopin' About. And I'm Alicia, also known as AK-47.
And I'm Liz, also known as Lizzie215.
Almost got you there.
I know.
And yeah, it's been a busy week for me. I went to an expo.
I'm dying to hear about
You
this
guys
expo.
gone to a sewing expo before? It's intense. So we entered the first building. So this is at the Puyallup Fairgrounds, which Puyallup holds
The Washington
a
State.
lot of little fairs, but this one's a biggie. I haven't gone to that since elephant ears were bigger than my whole body, I think. So I was probably 8 or 9 the last time I went to a fair. Because it's overwhelming. And I think with 2 or 3 kids to track, my mom
Give
wasn't
up.
into it. She's like, I can't do this. This is just too much stress for me. So anyway, so it's at a huge fairground, and I haven't been to it in years, right? So I'm naive. I go in, and I get this picture with the Sasquatch who's holding yarn, which I'm going to insert right here. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, so there's going to be yarn at the event. We kind of did some research, because I invited Liz, and Liz was like, no thanks.
Nope.
I'm good. And it's held over 4 days. I think it starts on a Thursday through Sunday kind of event. So we enter the first building that we come to, and it's full. It's got probably 6 rows of vendors. There's 3 aisles, but you got either side of each aisle. It's a pretty big building. So we get through that, and it's been like an hour and a half or something, and I'm like, awesome, that was easy, that was fun. I barely bought anything. That's perfect. And so we go outside through the back of this building, and my auntie's like, okay, let's go get something to eat. And I'm thinking, oh, sweet, this is perfect time for lunch. We've been here for a couple hours. I've worked up a little bit of an appetite. So fair food is gross. Gross. Like, everything has ground beef in it.
Or deep fried.
Deep fried. Or, yeah, so I'm just, like, nothing sounded appealing. And I realized that behind this little area that you can sit, there's more vendors. And I'm like, wait, there's another building of things. I thought we were done. No. So 6 hours went by. It's a lot of walking, guys. Oh my goodness. And there were moments where I'm like, okay, this craft is cool, but I don't think I want to put that on my wall. So there were some interesting things that I was just like kind of taken aback.
Selling, yeah.
That people were super proud of, and I'm like, maybe I'm just not the right demographic. So there was a lot of things I was not the right demographic for. I'm not picking up any more hobbies. I did pick up some material because I'm starting a quilt very soon. Very soon. It's imminent, guys. It might be this weekend. I might start this thing. I've taken sewing classes. This is going to be my first big project since I was in middle school taking home ec, right? So I picked up a few things, and I'll show it at the end of the thing, but 6 hours. My auntie was determined to see everything. My mom's kind of like, all right, I've seen enough. Let's just keep going. Are you guys done here? Maker's Mercantile was there.
Yes, it's a local knitting store,
yeah.
but they also do a lot of sewing stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
And so they had all kinds of stuff in their booth. Their newest thing is, I feel like it's kind of a polyester or a lycra kind of mix. So it's kind of stretchy, jersey. And they made nightgowns. So this piece of fabric, like long ways, had a print that you would use on the front, and then a print at that end that you would like fold, and it would be the back, right? Okay. So that was interesting, and for little nightgowns for little like kids, it was super cute. And the sleeves even had some kind of motif, but it's just one piece of fabric, and just a few seams or something. They made it sound really easy. I didn't buy it, but it was cute. And then, of course, they had all their felted things. They didn't have any of the kits, but they had the felted things you could buy as a finished piece. And my auntie went a little crazy in that one. It like blew her mind. I was like, you can make that. They make kits. And she's like, nope, I'm good. I'm just going to buy all of these. So it was very entertaining. It was good. And then we came across some yarn There was one that came over from Spokane, and she was actually spinning there.
Oh,
And
cool.
all the colorways were the name of the sheep that it came from.
Oh yeah, I saw her.
It was
Yeah.
so awesome. So I might have gotten a sweater quantity for my birthday.
Really?
Over there. So stay tuned if you want to see it. I tried to get Thor, but they didn't have Thor in a heavier weight. It was. I don't know if they're maybe just naive to the vernacular of how you sell yarn, but every weight said 200 plus yards. Right, so they went by yardage rather than everything weighs the same. Right? And the prices weren't that different between the weights of yarn. So I was either gonna pay like $16 to $18 for 200 yards of fingering, or I was gonna pay that same price for 200 yards of worsted.
Oh, you might as well pay for the worsted.
I was getting worsted, guys.
Yeah.
Just in case you weren't doing the math there.
Yeah.
I did. I took a long walk. Like, we did 3 more aisles before I decided sweaters quantity for my birthday.
And worsted, yes.
And
definitely.
worsted, I decided, well, Thor only came in fingering and lace.
Oh, okay.
But I could have worn Thor, guys. Wouldn't that been hot? So I ended up with a girl sheep named Ariana. And she's adorable. I'm going to put her picture up too. So I was really stoked because no dyeing. This is all natural wool. So all they did was, I think they took it to a mill to get it washed. But I think they did everything else. The carding and the put up and then actual spinning of it.
Cool.
It is an lanolin. Full of lanolin. Oh my goodness.
So it's all soft.
It's so delicious. I wish I could let you guys touch it, but I'll let Liz do it.
Yay.
She can describe it. But I wasn't ready for 6 hours. I wasn't ready for crappy food either.
I'm so glad I did not go.
Yeah.
I had a feeling. I was like,
I got enough of a stash there that I think I might be good for a few years, because my rule is going to be, if my auntie asks me again, oh, I haven't gotten through my stash yet.
That's a good one. I haven't knit the stuff we had.
I haven't been responsible enough to go to another one.
I like it.
So if you guys have any more ideas that I could, put out there as an excuse not to go to one of these again.
Or next time, sure, but I'll drive myself because I can only stay 3 hours, and then you know what booth you need to hit, and then out.
That's a good idea. No, we had to go to every single one. There was one thing that was super fascinating. I didn't buy stuff for it, but using batik fabric, which I guess is still, I don't know anything about fabric, but batiks, if you cut them, they don't fray like cotton does. Well, you can't wash it because then it'll be destroyed. But if you cut it, it could have a pretty, serrated edge or craziness, and it would be fine, right? So they're using batik, a collage, using fabric. And then you can embellish, you can go over all those rough edges with, a fancy stitch or whatever, but you don't have to. But these things look like paintings. It was intense, like foxes and salmon and orca, and a whale was in the center of something, and it was a cutout that you just ironed on.
That they matted somehow.
No, and then you'd make it have a surrounding quilt around it, right? So
Okay.
a focal point. Some of them were focal points, and some of them were pieces of art that was fabric. It was fascinating. So there were some things that caught my eye, and there were some things that didn't float my boat. But man, a ton of things. A ton of places. Pacific Fabric was there. I bought something from them. They made a Seattle themed thing for this event, and they said they were going to run out before the event was over, and they had 3 separate fabrics. It was a different colorway for the same fabric.
Cool.
It was really awesome. I can't wait to show you. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm wearing some knitting, but I didn't make it, and nobody handmade it. This is a machine made. And this is something I want to look for a pattern to replace it. This is the only piece of knitting I have in my wardrobe that wasn't hand knit. So I have one thing to replace. I've replaced all our socks. So next is this, and then I'll be good. I'm kind of like football player in it. It's kind of snug. I'm busting out of it. But it's got cabling down the front that you can't see because it's black, and it's stuck in it. Otherwise, and it looks like a raglan, and it's got a turtleneck, a nice billowy turtleneck. So yeah, looks like I'm wearing a cowl, but it's all in one. So yeah, if I could replace this, I'd be money. I used to have gloves, but I lost them last year. So I guess I
always lose gloves too.
I always lose gloves. So that's why I'm not really stoked on making some, because I don't think I'm responsible enough. Fingerless gloves, I'm okay because I'm not doing individual fingers, right? Gloves. I have some in my queue.
I don't have any gloves. I have tons of fingerless mitts. I don't think I have any gloves. I'm just not a glove person. I don't like gloves. The only time I like gloves,
They don't
it's
really
gotta
keep
be
you warm.
It's gotta no, they don't.
I really like my fingers together.
It's gotta be like 0 degrees outside, and I'm like spending more than 20 minutes outside.
Oh, I think I'd be fine if it were 40 or 50 degrees with gloves on. Nothing
At 40 or 50, I just won't wear them. And I'm like,
I could just put my hands in my
I'll
pocket.
just put my hands in my pocket, exactly.
Yes.
I just have a hexie pop.
Yay, that's a thesis. We can talk about thesis too.
That's it.
Yay.
I need to count how many I have
beautiful
total
blue.
now, because I haven't counted how many Allison added
Oh, okay.
to my
To your final count.
to my final count. So I need to go back and recount. But I'm going one a week. This is last week's, and I'm working on this week's.
By 716 Knits.
Yes.
And I looked into her project page, and yes, she did one of Josh Rick's
Shawls.
yeah, the shawls that you can use self-striping.
Yes.
So the other one that's in the bag, and that was the shawl.
Oh, cool.
It's really pretty, and Moxie is the blue. I double-checked last time. Awesome. Well, I was working on a thesis. I got my February hexagon done, and you've seen this hexagon before. It's the pineapple. I'm trying not to lose. Oh, I did lose stitches because I'm just putting it on a lifeline right now. I didn't steam it, didn't block it, but see the pineapple? So this is hexagon A, I think, in the pattern. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. The joys of technology. But yeah, another one's done. This one took me a bit. I wasn't in the mind space to do a hexagon, but it was the end of the month, and I hadn't done February yet. So maybe I need to get ahead for March, because if you don't have the mojo at the end and you haven't done it, you have to do it. Because I have a goal. Yep. I'm trying to keep with it. So 2 for 2, and that's done. Conclusions, recommendations. I got a little bitty hat done. Oh, okay, so this is Irma.
That is a beautiful, I like that pattern a lot.
And now the last name's gonna get me. Aneta Gasierowska. I hope I got it right. Ding, ding, ding. I hope I get a prize. But the top, it just decreased really pretty too.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Maybe you can't really see it because of how colorful my colorway is. But this is the Irma hat. This is probably going to go to one of my nieces sometime this year. So, for Easter, I think I'm going to send them a couple bunnies by No Knit Sherlock. Susan Claudino. Mm-hmm. You guys familiar with her? So this might not be what I'm sending for Easter. It might be something I send for another thing. It is using the kit. Remember this kit that we got from Stockinette Zombies? So this is a silver shed bag that is a picture of a bat. A bat? Is that what it's called? No, whatever it is called when it's just the wool, right?
I think it's just the batting, yeah.
Yeah.
Bat.
Yeah, it's okay. So the bat. And then they appliqued a little sheep head on it. I was hoping it was going to have a tail, but...
I thought, too, it should have a tail. It should have a little applique, like, round black thing.
A little bobble right back down there. Love her bags. I have a bunch of them. This is kind of a short 1-ton bag. Her other 1-ton bag has been in the mix ever since I got it 2 years ago, and it's been every month I had a sock in it. But I think this is going to become my go-to bag when it's adorable and the lining is like a, what do they call that? It's flannel. So it's pajamas because the theme was slumber party. It's plaid. That's what I'm looking for, right?
Yeah,
I was also
plaid.
thinking Burberry.
No,
that's
it's
the one
plaid.
I couldn't figure out. And it's definitely plaid. So that colorway, and I still have a chunk of it. Says I used 50 grams, but I have 64 grams left. So this is a heavy skein. Generous skein. There's 463 yards. That's from Queen City Yarns. Have you guys tried them yet? Super squishy. Loved it. I held it double because this is a DK hat, and I only had fingering. I was thinking about doing a fingering hat, and I put it off and put it off and put it off, and just couldn't make myself do a hat on ones and twos. No. So I'm going to try that again later on. That was the rubbish mojitos that you gave me as a prize for one of our knit-alongs last year. This colorway matches that plaid like nobody's business. These girls have a sense of color. Wonderful. This is just 75-25, 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon. But it's, you know how if you search the content and the yardage, a lot of independent dyers have the same bases, right? But they just name them different. But if you can find the same content, same yardage, she's part of the people that I love that have the same base. Super squishy, soft, love it, love it. And the colors just sing. Now, I haven't washed it yet, so I don't know if it bleeds. So I can't tell you much about their dyeing technique, but man, it's pretty. And this is held double, so it would look different if it were fingering, held single. But I needed DK weight because I needed this to go fast. I thought their knit-along ended at the end of February for these kits. It ended March 15th, so I haven't even put up the FO, but it's been done since the end of February. So yeah, that's my only finished object. What are you working on this week? Or what did you work on this week?
Still plugging along on my 3 projects.
Okay.
I'm still working on the baby blanket. I'm about a third of the way through my second block.
Okay.
And that's the Tin Can Knits Dogwood. You guys saw the first block. I'm working on the second block, but I don't want to cart that thing around. So it's my at-home knitting.
Okay.
And
Have you had a lot of time to knit on it?
No.
Oh, okay. That's why, because you were in the middle of it last time.
Yes.
The second block.
Yeah. And I've worked on Minion number 1 socks. I got about an inch done. Again,
nice.
I worked a little bit on everything. So she's really liking them.
Gorgeous.
She keeps on asking me when they're going to get done. So this has probably been what I've been trying to work on the most.
She's got a micromanager at home, guys.
Yes. I have a very task-demanding 4-year-old who's like, Mommy, are my socks done? Mommy, are my socks done? How about now? How about now? So the funny thing is I want to knit on them, but I try not to knit on them with my daughter around because then she wants to try them on every 5 minutes.
Which means no progress.
So it's an
endless cycle.
It's an endless cycle right there.
Well, let's take a look at them. What's the pattern again?
The pattern is Swirl-E. I can't remember the designer, but it's a free pattern on Ravelry.
Susie White.
Susie White.
And the colorway?
Colorway is, can't remember.
42 degrees opposite the sun.
That's because you knew all the notes.
Well, I don't have a symbol in the options that I have for text for the podcast, so I have to write out degrees every time. So that's how I remember what the name of this one is, because it makes me mad that I can't find the degree button.
And then I worked a little bit on ink. I added about 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
So
close.
Still just going down. It's going to be a year project. We should just add this to the thesis category right now.
So she started at this end with the collar, and then she's eventually picked up some reverse stockinette on this side.
Yes.
So pretty.
And I don't know the colorway either. It's
Riptide.
By Sweet Georgia Yarn. Yeah!
We're both getting prizes this time.
So I am really enjoying this.
Yeah. So any mistakes thus far? Or are we just not looking?
There have been several, but I'm trying not to look at it too hard. The nice thing is the yarn is dark enough that even if I, make probably a little mistake, I probably won't notice.
We kind of have to catch it on your way back,
yes.
right? Or when you're just coming up to doing the cables on the next cable row.
Mm-hmm.
But they're really hard to see that you messed up until you've gone a bit away from it. And they're traveling in every cable row, right? Every other row you get a rest. You're just purl the purls, knit the knits. But every other row you're traveling every stitch here. So
yeah.
It's hard to see.
It's nice because it's dark, like
you
said.
You can't see it while you're knitting. No one's going to see it while you're wearing it.
No one's going to see it while you're wearing it. So I'm okay with that. The one thing this has taught me to do, I finally learned to cable without a cable needle because I got so sick and tired of putting in the cable needle and taking it out that I was like, no, I got to watch. So I watched a couple YouTube videos and I'm like, got it?
Now I wasn't there yet when I was knitting that. And there were a couple times I was coming back and finding that I didn't knit that last thing that's on the needle that's behind the knitting, right? It was behind the knitting, so I didn't see it when I was doing it.
So find
it on the way home.
That has at least helped me, you
can avoid that one.
Yes, I can avoid that one, so I'm pretty good. So,
just thinking about that gives me no pleasure. Just thinking about coming back and finding your cable needle still in. Oh, nope.
So that's it. That's all I've been working on. How about you?
I worked on Sean's sweater a little bit more. Since we're talking about sweaters, we have a knit-along going on. That's garments all year long. And I feel like maybe we haven't clarified all of this. Any garment counts. Kid garments, bring them. She's going to do some kid garments later.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to start next because I need to at least finish one sweater this year.
I need to see something complete. Totally. Anything for you? For any loved one that you're making for? I'm making mine for my husband. So I'm doing a husband one right now. Male, female, daughter, dog. Should we include dogs?
We get dogs count.
Anything that is a garment, guys. I was asked again if a poncho counts. Yes. Ponchos count because she's got a poncho on the needle that might grace us again.
Maybe later this year.
Yeah, when she just wants to do stockinette for days. Yeah, because you're in the round.
I'm in the round.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Swanchos. The top I'm doing that I've been working on. That's a swancho. That counts. Yeah, pretty much anything. Short sleeve, long sleeve, no sleeve. Whatever.
Bring it.
And then if you want to use the yarns we're using for anything, hat, stuffy, ornament, do it.
Socks.
She was using Sweet Georgia. Yeah. They have all kinds of bases. It doesn't have to be the fingering one she's using. Are you using fingering? Yeah, fingering.
Yeah, I'm using fingering.
I'm using fingering held double, but you could use worsted DK of 3 Irish Girls, 716 Knits, or Plucky.
That's a lot of yarn choices right there.
Right? This sweater alone should be your guys' favorites because I've offered up a lot of things that you can work with. So, let's go through it, shall we? That's 3 Irish Girls up top. The gray is Dire Wolf. This speckle is actually 2 different colorways held double. And I have them, so you can see. One was a solid, a tonal blue, maybe a variegated of 2 different blues, and then a white speckle. Now held together, they made that first stripe. Let me show you that one again. Right? Total difference. Because I thought it might look a little more feminine if I put a white speckled stripe into Sean's sweater. So I decided, hey, with that one being so solid blue and every of the other colorways looked speckled, I'll just hold them together, and I'm so pleased. And he is too. He's super stoked. Okay, the next gray stripe, this guy, is different from the first one. So it isn't your screen telling you something wrong. No, those are 2 different grays. This gray is Plucky, and that one's called Fisherman's Wharf. Probably named after the Fisherman's Wharf we all know in San Francisco, right? Maybe she was on holiday or something when she named that one. The next stripe here is, this one's also Three Irish Girls. And that one's called Capture the Flag. And that was the one that I know I'm running out of because it needs to be a sleeve, right? So Becky was so kind and generous and sent me hers from ZK. So I'm gonna hold what's left double with this until this runs out, and then I'm gonna hold this one double by itself with itself. So I'm probably gonna split this in half or weigh it and only use half on one sleeve and then use it half on the other sleeve. You know, just in case you guys wonder how I'm doing it. It's not that important. And then I did the initial stripes again. And then this bottom one is 716 knits. And it had that lighter blue that this one had, Capture the Flag. So I figured I could do dark, light, dark, light. And it was only half a stripe before I hit the ribbing. So you can see my progress. On this side, I was just finishing the gray stripe last time. So I have added a full stripe. Half of it is the blue stripes, and then now it's a solid gray. Because I had the option to do that stripe, the blue and gray stripe, in the ribbing. And I talked to Sean some more, and he's like, I don't care if I don't get a full stripe before you start the ribbing part. So just do what you want to do. So I did. I got about halfway through that 3-stripe panel, right? And then I started in on the ribbing, which I need 2.5 inches. I'm a little over halfway there. I think I need about 16 rows to do that. This is a DK weight sweater. All of this is fingering held double. I feel like the Three Irish Girls gray, it never gets smaller. I'm not afraid of it running out now.
It's like eating a bowl of spaghetti and you're like, man, I feel like I'm eating
Yeah.
so much pasta, but there's still so much
I'm
pasta
gonna have
left.
leftovers.
That's how I always feel whenever I eat.
I mean, I've done a lot. And look at this, I still have a ton. I'm sure I have 150 grams.
You'll definitely have enough for the
Yeah.
sleeves.
So I'll have enough for sleeves. There's a hood too.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Three Irish Girls, not the Three Irish Girls, the 716 knits, which I still have a chunk of, that's going to be the first blue stripe up in the hood. And I need 10 inches of hood. So that's going to be 2 gray stripes and a blue stripe. So hopefully, since I only used half of a stripe on the body, this should be enough to cover the hood.
Yes.
So I'm kind of excited about that it's working out. Yeah, no worries. Oh, and this one was from Annetta. She won. So at the retreat we go to, they do door prizes at the end of each evening. Go through the entire list of attendees. And sometimes they've had so much love from their vendors and their yarn supporters that they can give out more than one prize to some of the people, right? Well, she got a second prize, and it was the 716 kit that was made for the goodie bags. She won it the last night when I had realized that I had only 50 gram skeins, not full skeins of each one of those blues, and I was stressing about running out of yarn and having enough to do any kind of stripes for this cardigan, and whether a cardigan was even going to happen because I didn't have enough yarn. And she graciously gave me a skein from her kit, which was awesome. And it is working out. It is perfect for the striping that I decided to do on this. So it's been really awesome. You guys are amazing. Becky and Annetta both saved a sweater. So thank you guys. Awesome. I owe you huge when I see you. You already know it. I also worked on something from our Casey's Pocket to Go. Do you see my little sloths? This one has that pink lining, remember? I wasn't too keen on when I first bought it, but I can ignore it. Don't really look on the inside all that much, right? Just to pull this thing out. I didn't get much done. And it's a total, I was in my head about it. And I'm kind of, so this is a sample for a store. So this is when your gauge counts, right? And your gauge matters. I don't worry about gauge any other time, and I don't have gauge issues in my finished objects. I'm stressing about it for this one. So it is what it is. I've added that much to the front because at this point we're going back and forth, right? It used to be in the round. Now I'm going back and forth. And I'm halfway through the back and forth on the front panel. And then I'm going to have to do it for the back, and then it'll meet up again in the round later.
What's the gauge supposed to be?
I don't know. I don't do gauge ever. But your gauge changes when you're in the round and when you're going back and forth. So that's what I've been worried about. Am I holding the pearls tight enough so that it matches the knitting stitches that I've been doing for the entire thing? Sumu Zikaze is what I'm knitting. And it's a beautiful top. I got through most of the increases. Like the first part of this top is kind of difficult because the weight of yarn is so light. You get 500 and something yards. Let's see. I'm using Fiberco in the Meadow base. And as you can see, baby llama, silk, linen, merino wool. It's a very lightweight yarn. It is called light fingering heavy lace, and it's in the Aster colorway. Ooh, I'm hungry. And you get 545 yards. So you can imagine how just airy this is. When you're knitting, you get to a point where the knitting, you can feel it, right? I didn't start feeling this until like 4 inches of knitting had gone by. It's so light. So if you're interested, I'm really enjoying this yarn. The colors are beautiful. They have a purple that, oh my goodness, I might need in my life. And this is more of a periwinkle. Is that what periwinkle is? Purple and blue? Because if that's what it is, then that's what this is. I don't know if that's showing up, but gosh, it's so pretty. Has my gauge changed? Don't tell. Looks like it hasn't changed. If it changed a bit, it'll block, right? I don't think it's a drastic change, but I've been stressing about it for rows and rows and rows. And I don't know how noticeable it is because it's gonna happen way down here. Right in your torso area. I don't know. It might not be noticeable.
Yeah, it looks like here you were doing 7 rows per inch. And up here where you were in the round.
Oh, so my row height has changed.
Your row height's changed 1.
Okay.
But that's not bad.
That's not the part I worry about. It's the stitch gauge that I worry about.
The stitch gauge
is on.
1, 2, let me make sure.
Okay.
Stitch gauge is basically the same. It hasn't changed much.
Okay, so it's just my row gauge that's changed a bit.
Your row height, and it's not even it's not even 1. It's
we
like,
can play with blocking.
It's like half row height.
Yay! Okay, I'm not bothered by row height.
No, it's like half a row height, and that's only because blocking will fix it.
Yes, we're gonna block this puppy to where it needs to be.
It's minimal.
Yay! Okay, good.
Yeah, and then you're pretty close to the tension too, because you're about 2 stitches off, because you're getting 6 to an inch.
Oh, okay.
So 4 across instead of 22, you're getting about 24.
Okay.
And then row height.
Oh, that's like a quarter of a stitch.
Yeah,
that's
nothing.
That's nothing. I'm not bothered by that at all.
I mean, it'll be slightly looser, and it's
Yeah.
already it's a loose fitting, so.
I might get lucky on this one, but I might request to not do garments again.
And then,
But most of it was hard to keep good tension because you had no weight on your needles for the longest
but your
time.
row height is right where it should be, because you're somewhere between
Yes.
6 and 7, and it's 33 rows.
Woohoo!
So somewhere between 7 and 8, not 6 and 7.
Oh, okay. She's using her handy dandy mini tools.
Right. So
By
it's only an
Katrinkles.
inch, so I have to do math. But your row height is right.
Okay, then I should just sail this off the needles now,
Yeah, this
guys.
is like 7.5
Right.
down here, and then up here it's about. Let's pull it a bit.
See? And it's got give.
Yeah, it's like 7. You're right there where you should be on row height. So
Yay!
you're good. There you go.
Yay.
If it makes you feel better. Now.
It does make me
So maybe
feel
that'll help
better.
you get your mojo back.
Yes, I will gain some ground.
We were
on this
supposed to do
top.
that last week and we didn't. So I'm
that's
gonna
true.
get you some of the little thingies.
Oh my goodness. They are genius. I went and looked them up. And I put it on a link for our last show notes. All our show notes are on Ravelry.
And I like
In
it
our
because you
group.
can order which ones you need. And these are the ones
Yes.
I thought I would use.
They
the most.
had like it's 12 options.
12 options. I only ordered 3.
Yeah.
I ordered the needle one because now
And
that,
you could order all of them, but
Yeah.
they can come in whatever set.
now that
number
my
you want.
needle size, my needles are starting to wear down. Some of my needle thingies are wearing off. You know,
Oh.
where they're printed. So
Yeah.
it's nice to have the.
The needle gauge.
What am I? Yeah. And then the mini swatch gauge, because I'm probably not likely to do a big swatch, but I'm very likely to check my swatch with an inch.
Or just over the length of your
of what I've
garment.
started, and then it's easy
Yeah.
to pull back just an inch as opposed to knitting a 4x4 swatch.
Precisely.
And then for those random pieces of yarn where you lose labels like I do and you not sure if it's DK or worsted, the gauge thing.
That is brilliant. I definitely rely on Ravelry to tell me what
Yeah.
things weigh.
Yeah, but
Like,
if
I
you
don't go by the
lose-
label.
if
I
you-
go to Ravelry and look it up.
But if you lose the label,
It's true. It's very true. She does that.
I do that.
I got my prize in the mail from a knit along we did last year. For 3 months of last year, we did a knit along for Harry Potter with the O-Loops group.
Yes.
Super, super awesome. Now, there wasn't a lot of information given, but people have been doing this for years. I think it was on its 5th year.
It was on
last
its 5th year. This was, yeah.
So there was plenty of people that you could ask questions, which was brilliant because I had the questions. I had all the questions. I think I was put in a very good group because Lucy was my moderator and she could answer all the things. And she was very good about answering my questions. But I want a little project bag.
Oh,
And that's his pothead, guys.
I love it.
And then there's a stitch marker on there that's a broom.
Is it the Nimbus 2000?
It could be. It doesn't look like the actual things they ride. It just looks like a little broom.
A little broom.
Yeah, super cute. And then Nitty by Nature. Gosh, that name just cracks me up. Naughty by Nature play right there. And that's a snitch. See the bell? And then some wings. So cute. And then there was one more thing. I thought it was a domino, and I was like, wow, that's going to be really heavy. But it's not. It's super tiny. This is, I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good from the
Yay.
Marauders map. So I've got a little progress keeper, and this is a progress keeper that I'm going to use next time too. And it has one of those removable light bulb ones that has a lightning bolt on it that you can't see. So when I take the snitch off, I'll have a second one that's just one of those removable light bulbs with a little lightning bolt on it. So yeah, I'm ready for next year, guys. So let's knit along next year. Well, this year.
This year,
It's
yeah.
coming up in October. I think some preliminaries happened in late August.
Yes.
Is that when you could do whipping it down?
Yes, but also, before you even do that, buy O-Loops yarn.
Yes. Because you have to use, I think you even have to use a Harry Potter
You don't have
themed.
to use Harry Potter.
I think you had to do one. That was Harry Potter.
Yes,
themed.
the last one, but that's only if you wanted the bonus point.
No, I mean to participate
Oh, to
in
participate, yes.
I think because she does, I feel like it's a pre-order sale.
She does.
So she doesn't run out. She finds out how many she needs to dye, and she does that for 3 months.
Right. So that starts in June. June, July, August.
You can buy Harry Potter themed yarn from her.
Yes.
And then September, you whip it down so you can clear all your needles.
And that September's and then she starts her dyeing September 15th. She mails it out, so you can start anything by October 1st.
Correct. And then October, November, and December each have 3 challenges each month. That you don't need to participate in all of them. You don't have to participate in every one of them. But I think you have to do at least one project.
Yes.
To participate.
Yes.
And then you're in for prizes. And I won a prize because I loaded this deck against all of you guys. I had 3 entries out of 15 entries.
She did. She chose her category wisely.
I did. I was like, December, you guys are slowing down and turning in your FOs. So yeah, I just picked one category and put all of them in.
Yeah.
After the main challenge.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that was super fun. I will do it again, mostly because I have the knowledge now of what qualifies, and really, you could get really creative.
If you know the Harry Potter story, or actually even if you don't, just toss things out there, and people will help you relate them to what you want to do.
Precisely. I wish more people in my group would do that, because some of them were turning in things for the extra credit and not the main challenge. And the main challenge, you get more points for your team. I was like, we could have turned that into something that qualified for the main challenge.
Right.
I know your intention was to go for the extra credit, but we could make it work.
Your team already won. They didn't need any more points.
My team was the big winner, mostly because we were so creative. But yeah, if you watched our episodes through October, November, December, we talked about how we were going to somehow make things qualify for certain things. Super fun. And we're going to do it again. So if you guys want to join us, that's in October.
We'll tell you when the pre-sales of yarn start and stuff.
Yes. And you could get sweater quantities. That's the best part.
Well, yeah, because you pre-order, so you could order sweater quantities without having to rush, as long as you have a color scheme. And
because it's all by pre-order.
And Lydia's color sense is awesome. So and she has a beautiful variegated, and she does. I wish she would do some more tonals. Yeah.
I am a sucker for tonals.
Because I have all these great colors that I would like something to make them cohesive to go with. Yes. But her colors, is great.
Yeah. She does a lot of pink sometimes. But her purples are beautiful. So this year I'm going to, I might do more than 1 month order. Because we only ordered on one of her updates, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I ordered a lot. So
I'm getting a prefect kit.
Yeah, get the prefect kit. I think the prefect kit is the best. I ordered the mystery prefect kit, so that's how I ended up in Gryffindor. Yeah. I think next year I'm actually either going to order Ravenclaw because I like the blue, or Slytherin because I really like green and gray.
Really pretty too. Yeah. So, it's hard.
It is hard.
I think the best way to go was for you to go a mystery.
For the first year, I think the mystery was the best way for me to go. Plus, I like yarn. I'm surprising with colors.
Yeah. And I think you only worked through half of the yarn that came in your prefect kit.
I only worked through half of my yarn prefect kit. I still have a ton of colorways, so.
Yeah. And last year, I had to go to Vogue Knitting Live and purchase something so that I could qualify.
So she could do the last project.
So, yeah, it was a fun adventure, and I'm going to do it again. But I'm going to be better prepared with yarn.
Yeah, I think the key is to have all loops yarn.
Yeah. And she makes beautiful things.
Yes.
So if you guys are interested, please join us. We have that sweater, that garment knit along that we're doing, which means you could use Fiber Co., which was the garment that I just showed you, 3 Irish Girls, Plucky, 716 Knits, Sweet Georgia, and then at the end of March, we're changing it up the second quarter for you.
The second quarter is I'm going to knit a Minion sweater. I think I'll knit it for Minion number 1.
The older
one.
But
she isn't growing as much, so it won't, Minion number 2, I need him to stabilize.
Yeah. So he can wear it longer.
Plus, the longer I wait to do mini number 2, the more yarn I use. So I bought yarn to make the sock arm sweater by Telly Bean Knits.
Telly Beans, yeah.
Telly Bean Knits. And Mustache made kits, and she made adult kits. Like she had a small, medium, and large adult kit. And then she had kids kits. And the kids kits were just one kit.
She knew what your button was to put.
Yeah. Exactly. She had kids kits.
We could be matching.
But it's good and bad because, I mean, I understand she's trying to minimize work for herself. So the kids' kits are all the same size, whether you want to do a baby or up to like size like 6 or 8 or 10 or something like that. So I have a lot. I could probably make 2 little sweaters.
Yeah, out of each of the kids' packet.
Well, no, I could make out of one of the kids' packet. I could make like a 2 or a 3-year-old sweater.
Oh, okay.
In addition to my daughter's.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to make her like a size 8 or a size 10, whatever, to use up most of the yarn.
Well, you could just make her 2 sweaters, and then he'll grow into both of those sweaters later.
I could, but
She wants the picture.
I want the picture of them in matching
so
sweaters.
What you should do is your daughter's, and then yours, and then his.
Yes.
Right? So that all the sweaters will be done and fitting.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Okay. We have a plan.
Because I need to do my daughter's, so I just want to finish something.
Yeah.
I just want to finish a sweater this year, and then,
And that's
like
mostly
that
stockinette.
Yeah,
right?
it's mostly stockinette.
So that'll go fast.
Yes.
Yay. I don't know. Yes, I do know my plans. Let's talk about some yarn, because I'm going to be talking about my future yarns anyway. You might as well see it.
Oh, yeah. Show me what. You're going to show us what you bought.
Yep. So, these are the purchases Mom made. Every 3rd or 4th sweater or project I make for my mom, I let her buy the yarn. Just because she insists. And 1 out of every 5 is probably a good idea.
Ooh, she made a good
this
choice.
This is Mad Tosh. Do you see that purple, guys? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
Is that
It's called Iris.
No, but what?
It's Madeline Tosh Prairie.
Prairie.
It's lace
I
weight.
haven't worked with that one. Oh, you're making her like a summery light thing?
Yeah, it's going to be a tunic.
Okay.
And it's from one of my books in my library. I let her flip through it. And of course, she picked the most extravagant one, which I haven't committed to yet. But I talked her into this other one. I think it's called River Tunic. And it's got 3 colors that go down the sleeve. And then you're solid. She just wants it solid. So all this purple is going to be that River Tunic. It calls for light fingering. So I went with lace. Mostly because it needed 1,600 yards. It's crochet.
Yeah.
So I'd rather eat up lace than buy 4 skeins of fingering.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the plan. I saw somebody else made a cobalt blue or like an ocean blue in prairie as well. So I'm good.
So you know it's doable.
Yeah. I'm not bothered. At first I was worried because everybody used fingering for the longest time. But I saw some people with lace, so that was exciting. I picked that up from a Tacoma LYS, and that, I can't think of their name, so hopefully I've looked it up by now. But they have been in the same location for 30 years in Tacoma, and recently they got booted out of their space. So they're going to a new location. I haven't been there because Tacoma doesn't participate in the Seattle LYS or the Puget Sound LYS. So I haven't been there. Have you gone to any Tacoma stores?
Nope.
Tacoma is south of Seattle by
half an hour.
But
with no traffic.
The traffic
which just never happens.
Awful. They're always doing something construction-wise over there that doesn't make any of that traffic move better. And the carpool lane ends before the bad traffic area.
We don't go to Tacoma that often.
Fume hood alert. I don't enjoy going to Tacoma. And then Tacoma has an aroma. It's really gross.
Due to the paper factories, the paper mills, right?
Pulp is disgusting.
Pulp, the pulp.
Oh, it's so gross. It smells.
We call it the aroma of Tacoma.
Just don't go. So we haven't gone. But that's where that yarn came from. They had a booth at the expo. So these are the people, spoiled sheep, that are from Spokane. And I got a sweater's quantity. Yeah. This is Ariana. And she is Leicester. It's not Blueface Leicester. they said just Leicester long wool or something.
Cool. Very nice.
And apparently this breed of sheep is from colonial Virginia time. So they get calls about Ariana all the time. It's like, can you bring her out? Can we get pictures? Can we come visit? They're like, yeah, sure, okay. But yeah, they have a herd of sheep. It doesn't sound like a large herd of sheep because there was only about 12 names that you could
buy
choose
sheep
from.
from.
But, oh my goodness. Oh. So I got 6 skeins because each of these tags says 200 yards. And for one, it says 200 plus. And I decided that worsted was the way to go. I don't buy worsted. I don't know why. Maybe I don't feel like you get a good
Even mine
price for yardage.
Somewhere.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make something called the Fuse cardigan, or it's just called Fuse. And I'm hoping that'll work out. It's gray in the picture. I picked up gray yarn, so that should work out. Let's see. Now for the stuff that I bought. This is called Creativity Stimulus Pack. So this is upholstery weight fabric. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. This is used on upholstery. So they put together a colorway. A kit of colorways. Yeah.
You can make pillows.
Well, I'm thinking of making a bag. It's called ShiboriDragon.com is where you can find this. That's
pretty.
like a purple and taupe kind of colorway. And then I found a coordinating fabric for it. I was just looking for things that go in pairs. Because you know what? I don't sew. So we'll see. Don't know what I'm going to do. But at that same place, I found my next paper piecing project for when I finish the one that I haven't started.
You're going to make a kimono?
Do you see those kimonos? Aren't they adorable? I don't know if I'm going to make a quilt. But I'm going to use that for something. Maybe I'll just do a runner for the table or something. Stack them that way. And that way. It's really pretty. So I'm probably going to purchase from these guys again for when I do that pattern because they had an amazing amount of Asian fabrics. Beautiful. I would say Japanese, but they might not have all been Japanese, but they were beautiful. Maybe they were. Don't know. I mean, both of these say Japanese on them, so maybe. But that's called Shibori Dragon, was the place that I purchased that from. And I picked up a zipper pull for Sean. And yes, you're going to see the price and say, wow, Alicia, that's ridiculous. But look at how ridiculous that is. It's a robot. Do you see his wrench arms? Oh my gosh.
That's cute.
3-dimensional. Like, there's a cage that is his torso.
That's super cute.
So I told him, well, it's kind of heavy, so I don't know if you want to put that on a sweatshirt, but maybe his backpack that he takes to work every day, because he rides the train every day. So, are you ready for the Seattle fabric? It's kind of ridiculous.
And this is from that.
This is from Pacific Fabric, which is on 4th Avenue downtown, in the warehouse district.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't that awesome? Oh, take a look at that, guys. Now, there was 3 different colorways. So the same fabric in a nightscape, so it was black and it had stars and stuff. Same skyline and fairies and things, but it was dark. And then the other one, the skyline was rainbow. So each of the buildings was a different rainbow color. It was really pretty. Yeah, so we have Rainier and the Ferris wheel I told you guys about. Space Needle. My favorite building, which is right there. Washington Mutual building. One of those is probably the Columbia Tower. I wonder if Smith Tower's in there.
Yeah,
it looks like
Tower's the tallest one.
Yeah.
Maybe that one.
And then Smith Tower's in there, but it doesn't have the point on it.
Even though
it's
this
right there.
cracks me up. because
The Smith Tower has a point on it.
that's not how downtown looks.
No. This isn't an accurate depiction of how the buildings go in downtown. That's why it took me a little bit to find the Washington Mutual building. The Space Needle does not sit here from the water. Like,
yeah, this could be the view. Maybe if you're looking north south, like looking southbound,
but not the water.
Not the water. But I understand why they put the Space Needle there.
I totally get why they did this. But this isn't the accurate depiction. And the Ferris wheel faces you from the water, right? So you wouldn't... It would be turned this way.
Yeah.
Not that we're judging. I love the fabric. I bought it. I bought a whole yard. I don't know how much you're supposed to buy for things. And then I got a coordinating skein. Isn't that pretty? They made aprons that had like 3 pockets in the front and a little flap that had a button on it. It was styling. It was beautiful. But that is my coordinating skein for that. Little bits of gold flecks or tan flecks in there. I don't know what I'm making. You guys want me to send it to you and you surprise me? Who needs a bag? I don't know. They tried to sell me the apron pattern. I'm thinking, who wears aprons?
Not me.
Maybe if I worked in the yarn store still, I would wear an apron, but I mean, I like having pockets. Pockets are brilliant. Again, not my demographic. I'm not their demographic. So, it was fun. Super fun.
Just maybe not 6 hours.
Once. Once. Yeah, so that was the purchases. I'm super stoked about the yarn. So this yarn is going to be a sweater for the second quarter. It's going to be crocheted. Should go really fast, but it is a tunic. You heard right. It's going to be long, but my mom's only 5 feet tall. She's a little spitfire. So it's not going to be as long as even the pattern tells me to do. So hopefully I'll have some leftovers because this is lovely. I wanted her to pick something from my stash. I have a beautiful turquoise, on the cusp of turquoise and teal. Beautiful Madeline Tosh Prairie. And I had a dark blue Madeline Tosh Prairie. So it was gonna be this weight base. But yeah, I couldn't talk her into it. Well, for the longest time, she kept saying cobalt. And I was like, oh, okay. So I picked out 2 cobalts while we were there. Perfectly matched. Oh, is there a purple? I was like, really? This whole time I could be looking for purple? Purple's easy for me. I can pick purple. So yeah, only a little frustration there. Did you get it? How about you? Did you get anything in the mail that you'd like to show?
Did not get anything in the mail.
And you didn't go to the expo.
I didn't go to the expo. No, I went to Comic-Con instead.
Oh, hey, they moved that up.
Yes, they moved it
How
up.
was it?
It was good. It was.
Did your daughter dress up? Did she go in her ladybug superhero
She did not
outfit?
want to wear her ladybug superhero.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And she slept like a couple hours during the first day. So while she slept, I bought her dragon wings.
Ooh.
And little cat ears, flowery cat ears. And
Did she wear it the second day?
Yeah, when she woke up, she the next day, because she was still sleeping when we went through the car and everything else. The next day, we busted out the surprises, and she was like, "Oh, I want to wear this."
I could have been there when you bought it. So did she go 2 days?
She went 2 days. Both my minions went 2 days. They lasted about 3 hours. I mean, it's long.
Mm-hmm. It's like an expo.
It's cool though, because man, some of the
costumes that people wear there,
that these people put together. Yeah.
A lot of them make it themselves.
Most of them make it, and I mean, in order to compete in the cosplay, you have to hand make it.
Wait, you get prizes?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a reason to do it.
Oh no, but I mean, these people spend like hundreds of dollars and time, like some intricately sewn.
Yeah, this isn't not Sailor Moon kind of stuff. This is like
intricately sewn. Like people hand make their armor if their costume requires armor. It was pretty cool. We didn't get to see the cosplay competition because my minions had it.
We're done.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Food's not gonna work.
Maybe next year they'll be old enough and we'll be able to see some of the cosplay competition. But just walking around, I mean, people just walking around dressed up. Yes, I am quite impressed.
You could knit a Yoshi outfit for one of them.
Yeah,
for
right.
Yoshi yarn. Oh my goodness.
No.
I could send you home with the plushie so you can just make
yeah,
it
use
bigger.
it. Yeah, no, not happening. No, thank you.
Because that's knitted. And that's something you could make.
Still not happening. So there were a lot of Wonder Women.
I would guess. How about Black Panther? Because that just came out.
I did not see a Black Panther. That doesn't mean there wasn't a Black Panther. I just did not see a Black Panther.
So this is Marvel and
this is Comic-Con. This is anything.
Books, right?
Anything comic book based.
Okay.
Anything. I mean,
but it could be a game.
But it expands. There's a lot of gaming. There's a lot of game characters, even not comic book. Like Comic-Con, even though it started out as a comic book thing, Comic-Con
it's
now
gotten bigger.
It encompasses
it's broader.
TV shows, comic books, video games, like everything.
Okay. So what do you go for? Like, why does your husband like to go to it?
Well, he just likes to go see. My husband used to really be into comic books, and he still likes playing video games, so he likes to go see.
But he's not there to purchase anything?
My husband's not a buyer. No, he's not there to purchase anything. He's
got what he wanted when it first came out.
He just likes the experience.
Okay.
He just likes the experience.
He's a people watcher.
Yeah, he's a people watcher.
And wants to go to each booth.
No, he doesn't have to go to each booth.
Okay.
So yeah, he just likes to see what's going on and what's being out there. He likes going and see the artists.
Okay.
The comic book artists.
Yeah.
They have a lot of people who draw like on site and stuff.
Cool.
So it's really neat.
Okay. Are there people and characters that show up from?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of actors, TV actors who show up.
Okay.
Who was there? There were 2 Power Rangers. 2 of the original
That's
Power Rangers. Yeah, that is old school.
That's a throwback.
2 of the original old Power Rangers. Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future. Biff from Back to the Future. I think his name's Tom Wilson. And you can get photo ops with the DeLorean. So that was cracking me up.
Wow. Like, they brought it into the arena.
Well, wherever they were doing the photo ops, we did not go check it out because you have to pay for photo ops with these things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not free. But yeah, you could get a photo op with Christopher Lloyd and the DeLorean. You get a photo op with Biff and the DeLorean. Or you could get a photo op. Or you could get a photo op with you, yeah. Or you could get a photo op with Biff, Christopher Lloyd, and the DeLorean, and you.
Are those all different prices?
All different prices. Huh. And then, let's see who else is there. Carl Urban, Summer Glau.
Anybody from Arrow?
From Arrow, yes.
Yeah.
Who was there from Arrow? I can't remember who was there from Arrow. But, so there were people there from Arrow. There were people there.
I only think Marvel. I don't follow anything else. There were people
from, Summer Glau, everyone likes Serenity. There were people there from Supernatural, if you watch Supernatural.
The guy from Gilmore Girls?
No, Dean was not there.
Dean wasn't there. That character drove me
Jared Padalecki was not there. He's been there before.
Isn't he the guy who knits?
No, that's Castiel.
Oh, okay.
He was there, but I didn't.
Was he knitting?
No, I didn't see him. Misha.
That one.
Yes, I can't remember his last name.
Because that's the one that Sarah's all about from the Nifty Knitter.
He lives up north, apparently. He lives in Bellingham.
And he goes to one of the LYSs
He goes to one of the LYSs up there and he knits.
Right.
Yeah. Misha Collins. That's it. Misha Collins. I knew it would come to me.
I was like, I don't know who you're talking about. What?
Yeah.
I was like, I know the guy from Gilmore Girls, but I don't remember his name being Misha.
No. Yeah. So there's a lot of stars and so many more that I can't even name. And it is really fun people watching. Because let me tell you, some people show up in these costumes that I'm just like, wow. Either you spent a lot of time on it, or it goes the completely other way, and I'm like, aren't you cold?
Yes. That's a question because it's not warm here. Do they keep it warm in the building? Or is it like 60 degrees? It's not very warm.
No, they don't keep it warm because there's so many people that then
it's gonna warm it up.
Yeah, everyone would be roasting. And then so there are the people that I'm like, dude,
you should be wearing one.
Like
Conan the Barbarian.
Yes. Or Captain Underpants and stuff. So yes. So
That's awesome. So they're not wearing that like pantyhose where the skin would be showing?
No.
Oh, that'd be chilly.
Yes.
How did you get here? Hope you didn't ride a bus.
Yeah. So let's just say if you ever want some interesting people watching, go to your local Comic-Con.
It's not cheap. Well, I guess it's
Actually,
cheap
no, it
if
is
you
cheap.
can get the tickets.
It
but
is pretty
people
cheap.
who sell their tickets to people who didn't get tickets when they were available are really steep.
Yeah, no, if you like they go on sale at like noon in like October or November. I'm on the mailing list.
Okay, so you already know.
Yeah,
your alarms are set.
Yeah, my alarms are set. I'm there like the first day. I buy the 4-day pass, and the 4-day pass is like $100.
Yeah,
I mean it's really not that expensive.
Yeah,
if you try to get them on the resale market, then it probably doubles in price. They go up to $200 and stuff. But yeah. So we do that. My husband likes to do that.
So are you going to SakuraCon too?
No, I Comic-Con is about as much as I can handle because at least some things are familiar. I am not so into the Japanese anime. SakuraCon is more Asian based, so more Japanese manga, those type of things. And my husband knows a lot. He can happily go to SakuraCon.
And he goes to that one by himself, and you go to this one like one of the days or two of the days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you split your time at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, I was going, I would have liked to have actually looked at more stuff because I thought, they do have a lot of Harry Potter fandom things and stuff. But I wasn't sure if I wanted a patch or a pin or whatever, or get stuff for the swap this year with the Olafs. And
yeah.
It was just too many choices. So
okay.
If there's too many choices, I'm overwhelmed and I just don't buy anything. So I bought
system
nothing.
overload.
Yeah, I bought nothing.
Yeah, I totally get that. That would be me.
But
well, then we had a successful weekend.
We did. Busy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Well, this coming week, I'm going to another sewing class on Wednesday. And then on Saturday, I think I might be starting my quilt.
Yay!
So, if I finish something, I will show you guys.
Or she just cuts something.
Yeah. So it's done by like a panel this size. That'll be my first one. Will be a panel about that size. And there's 4 individual blocks that you piece individually, and then you put them together in a certain order. So it's paper pieced, and then it's pieced, and then you have like a little panel of a huge quilt. So if I just get one of the section, I think I want to do the full panel to show you guys. I don't know. I'll think about it, because maybe it'll be cool to see what the 4 individual pieces were before I piece them together. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell us in the show notes that we have on our group. So we have a retreat happening, guys. We are 38 days out, and probably by the time this posts, it's probably 37 days out. But it's coming quick. And I think we have 6 people coming in now from Boston, Illinois, and Kentucky. So Massachusetts, Illinois, and Kentucky are converging on Seattle. Some of our local people here on the West Coast said it's too short a notice, which is fine. We are going to do this again. And we're going to do it in a different town or city or what have you. We haven't figured that one out yet. But yes, we're having a retreat here in Seattle, Washington. We're going to be staying in one of the downtown neighborhoods. I'm going to close RSVP 2 days after this posts. So you guys can have another option if you didn't see last week's and you're just now seeing this one. 2 days after this guy goes live, I'm going to close the RSVP so we can actually pick a house and get our deposit in and our reservation, and then we all know how much we're spending. It looks to be $50 a piece per night, which super stupid cheap.
Yeah.
Right? We've decided that we're going to do breakfast at the house, or, you can go out and do whatever you want, but I'm going to have fruits and breakfast stuff. If you guys want to make eggs and pancakes and bacon, I'll bring the fixins for that, or we'll bring the fixins for that. And then lunches and dinners will probably be out on the town eating, imbibing afterwards. So it found out that most of the contingency is coming in Thursday before noon. So we're going straight to Tolt
Okay.
from the airport. So I have a vehicle at my disposal, which is a Highlander, which seats 7 people. So right now, we have the perfect amount that I can pick up everybody at the airport and go to Tolt in one vehicle. If we get more people, we're going to have to coordinate more with Liz or with Sean throughout
We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
But Sean's going to follow me to the airport. He's going to take everybody's luggage to the house, and we're going straight to Tolt. This is a service, guys. How amazing is that? You don't even have to think about your luggage. So pack accordingly so that your pack that has your wallet and your knitting that we're going to use all day is ready when you get off the airplane. Okay? Because your overnight bag is going to go straight to the overnight place, wherever that happens to be. Okay? And we're going to go straight out to Carnation, which is a country feel outside of the city, to Tolt, which is a yarn and wool LYS. It is lovely. They have a pot-belly stove in there. They have a huge table that we can sit around and knit if we're all shopping to our heart's desires, and some people just want to start knitting. You can do it there. They don't have coffee there, but I feel like they have a little coffee kiosk down the road.
Yeah, there's a bakery
Yeah.
right down the street that has coffee for those that might want coffee.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go get a beverage and then meet back at Tolt or however we want to do it. And then we could do lunch right there in Carnation.
Yeah, you could do lunch in Carnation. You could do lunch in Snoqualmie.
And maybe by that time, Liz will be free.
Oh, I will probably,
Maybe.
yes.
After lunch.
Yes, after lunch, I can make some time.
Yeah. Before she has to go pick up her kiddos.
Yeah.
That would be fun. And then Friday, we're going to wake up at whatever pace, and we're going to hit a ferry, because I think I want to do Church Mouse before the weekend.
Yes, before the weekend
hustle and
rush.
bustle.
Yes.
Right?
The ferry, it's a lot easier to get on the ferry.
Yeah, especially going that direction
Yeah.
on a Friday. So we're going to go against traffic on Friday so that we could do Church Mouse. And then when we come back from Church Mouse, we'll be in downtown Pike Place Market area. And we can do either the Ferris wheel, which we boasted about on that piece of fabric, Pike Place. So there's a lot of vendors in and around Pike Place. It'll be wonderful.
And do all your souvenir shopping.
All the souvenir shopping you need from Seattle, this is the place to go. There's a beautiful Japanese tea shop down the street from Pike Place too. Just lovely. So
Market
Spice is in there, so you can get teas
and there's like
spices.
If you're like me, there's like a ton of bars and like 3 breweries.
Yes. We'll get your imbibing taken care of.
Yes.
So we'll probably do lunch on the Church Mouse side on Bainbridge, and then we'll do dinner
on the Seattle side
in Pike Place Market area. So we'll find a coffee shop and hang out and do the Seattle thing, which is coffee shop knitting.
Or find a brewery.
Or do a brewery knitting.
Which is more Seattle-ish than
Yeah. Well, that's our kind of Seattle.
That's our kind of Seattle.
I don't know if I've seen a lot of knitters doing what we do, which is go to a pub and
Yeah,
knit.
we go to a pub and knit.
We get a lot of attractions because we knit in pubs. So it'll be fun. So come on out if you'd like to. That is April 12th through 15th. 2018. Yeah, that's 30 some days from now. And we would love to have you. It's short notice and we apologize for that, but all of a sudden it just became a good idea. And then we're probably all going to see each other again a few months later, which is so silly. I love it. I love the enthusiasm of this group, and I'm really excited to see you guys and to show off the city that we know and love. Because you've been here since 97?
97.
And I moved to the city in 97, but I grew up on Whidbey Island, which is up in the Sound. Can't see it from here, but it's up there. It's in that same waterway that you can see from Seattle. So yeah, come on out. We'll show you around, show us our haunts, and maybe you have some things to see too. Saturday is going to be more of a mellow day. We're going to go out to a chocolate factory, which is beautiful. I haven't done the tour. Have you done the tour at Theo?
No.
I've heard it's fantastic. And there's a lot of testing you can do as a chocolate eater. And then they have a wonderful little shop that's full of chocolate. And other confectionaries. They have something called the Big Daddy, which is amazing. It's a graham cracker and caramel and a marshmallow dipped in chocolate. So good. Yeah, they have other little confectionaries like that. And then at that point, we'll be in Fremont. I'm thinking the ballroom for imbibing. And they have pizza by the slice there. And then go check out the troll under the bridge, because that's an attraction out here. Sunday's going to be super low-key. We'll probably just stick around the house until people are making their way out. So that is the plan, guys. Let me know if you have any ideas or requests that we can fill in our days. We're going to go to the radio station one morning, too. I'm so excited. Before anybody can get there, so we can get the good seats. The couches. So, until we knit again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.